What is going on, YouTube? PPS here, YouTube Play of the Day. We are back and ready to get after it today. We have a awesome slate across the board. Whether you're into hockey, whether you're into baseball, whatever you're into, it's a big day. Tuesdays are usually pretty full of stuff. So every team is in action today, and I'm obviously really excited to break down these games for you guys. But today we got two plays. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. So let's recap. So trying to remember what we all have to recap here. I think we have 2 and 3 overall. I'm using my pass the prop ones. I did lose this one. That was Pavetta. If you watch pass the prop, you can obviously go through this one a little bit quicker because obviously I did this yesterday. And then the Tigers, they both lost there. But ended up putting up a 4-unit day yesterday, or 4.3 units. I had Scooball under with no win Sensatella at minus 103. That one cashed. We ended up cashing a plus 130 on Scooball. And we cashed 2 full units here on PCA stolen base at plus 400. So that obviously makes these numbers look a little bit better. There's that one. And then, that should be good. And then we had this one that we didn't get to do. Yes, last time Littell gave up bombs in that game. So fortunately for us, those long shots have been kind of been saving us a little bit. So it's 9 and 9, 3.6 units so far this year. Remember, I don't put long shots into the record. I just put it into the unit. So I take half a unit off if I lose one. Thank God I haven't lost one yet. We're 3-0 on our long shots. And obviously heading into today, feeling great. So, if you could hit that like button, really appreciate it. And subscribe if you haven't already. We're hopefully going to start growing it a little bit more. Hopefully enough of you guys are winning some money that you're sharing and hitting that like button because obviously baseball is a long season, and I'm hoping we can get some more people paying attention so we can bet these together. So, first play, Luzardo, 6 Ks with Jeffrey Springs. 4 strikeouts, going to be minus 111, and I'll also be playing Brent Rooker. His runs RBIs there. Had that up on the bottom part of that screen. So let's start out with Springs and Luzardo. We can talk Springs a little bit here just because his is minus 500. So he's going to be the juice reducer. As I always say, guys, I will not bet anything minus 150 at all. Even minus 140s are tough for me. I did have a minus 140 or minus 138 spot that I liked, but I did want to give that out here because it's hard to win an MLB, and if you're betting juice and you lose one and you have to hit 2 in a row, it feels like a slippery slope. So Springs, 4 strikeouts. He is facing off against the White Sox. They are bad against left-handed pitching. 30% K rate, a 55 WRC plus. We look at stuff-wise, Springs isn't overpowering or anything like that, but he does have good spin. And the bottom of this White Sox order is pretty bad. Springs gets a game in Chicago today. It is a pretty nice day out there, which I don't like a ton because Springs does throw a decent amount of fly balls, but you got to put the ball in play to get that to work, especially when you look at this Oakland lineup, or not Oakland, the White Sox lineup. 55 WRC plus, sub 200 batting average, sub 250 on base percentage. It is pretty wild, guys, how bad this this team is. And just to put this in perspective, they are second worst in WRC plus, or third worst in WRC plus in the league so far this year. Surprisingly, the Minnesota Twins are the worst team against lefties so far this year. They have played a lot of good lefties, but just something to look forward to. Obviously, small sample size, but expect that to get done. Then looking at Luzardo, he has been awesome. I drafted him in a decent amount of my leagues so far this year. Is expecting batting average, expected ERA, all in the top 20 percentile. Strikeout rate at 36% is awesome. I also really like that we're getting a lot more ground balls from him. He used to be a 70% fly ball guy, line drive guy. I think now it is 46% ground ball, which is pretty impressive coming off of, a year last year where we gave up a pretty decent amount of hard contact there. And then obviously we saw a decent amount of barrels last year as well. But so far, 4 barrels this year. And that's been but only one home run, which I think is important for him. And that was on the changeup there. I think that this is a great spot for him. He's facing off against the Giants, and his stuff has just been filthy, guys. The Giants right now, in terms of strikeout rate, rank 6th highest against left-handed pitching. They do not walk either, which I think is really important. They have a 27.7% K rate, an 89 WRC plus, and only a 7% walk rate, guys, which is very, very low. And that's obviously something I look forward to betting here with Luzardo now that he's kind of working himself into the zone a little bit more. 7.2% walk rate for him is high, but not anywhere close to as high as we've seen from him. Last year was an 8. The year before that, 7.4. Year before that, 8.8. So definitely better than we have seen in the past. Expected ERA about 1 run higher. So expect a little bit of regression, but not like a crazy amount. I'll talk about crazy regression here coming shortly in our next bet. But just really like the ability for him to throw that sweeper against these lefties. That sweeper has been absolutely lights out. He is throwing that 52% of the time to lefties with a 42% whiff rate. So pretty much lefties are going to be negated here, guys. Like that pitch is very, very good. I mean, I don't really have any other superlatives to use here about that pitch. 0.83 batting average against 167 slug against that sweeper against lefties so far this year. So obviously that's been really, really good. He's got a 40 or a 57% whiff rate on the sweeper against righties, a lot lower sample size in terms of pitch thrown, but really like how he has that changeup to negate the right-handed batters. And in this spot, I do like this spot. I mean, this Giants team has been striking out a lot more. You add Willy Adames in there. Obviously, that's going to be quite a bit of swing and miss. I tell you guys that all the time. He's a free swinger. I know he hit a bomb yesterday, but I really like Luzardo in this game. Decent amount of lefties we should see in this one as well. Yastrzemski, Lee. This should be a fun game here for Luzardo to kind of keep this rolling and get another home start. So that is play number 1. I know I took a little longer on that one, but I'll try to make this one quick. I'm going to Brent Rooker over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I haven't been betting in this market as much as I have in the past. But let's talk about Brent Rooker, man. This guy is phenomenal. To start the year, it hasn't been his normal start to the year. 188 batting average, 406 slug, a sub 650 OPS. Career-wise, he's an 827 OPS. And last year alone, 927. We have a really nice day. I just talked about this with Springs. It's a very nice day in Chicago. 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing out. That is not why I like this spot. I like the spot because, first off, Chicago White Sox bullpen is terrible. Second, Sean Burke on the bump has been terrible. And he's been really bad against right-handed batters. And I've been surprised in that, right? Like a guy who's throwing this much slider and this much four-seamer, I thought with the slider would be a little bit better. And when you're a 2-pitch mix guy against righties, it makes this tough because he's throwing that 80 or 79% of the time. So probably about 80. 80% of the time he's throwing either slider or four-seamer to right-handed bats. Against righties right now, he has an expected slug of 1,057 on his four-seamer and an expected slug of 820 on his slider. Mind you, he already has a 6.08 ERA, and it should be significantly worse. Expected ERA at 9.01, terrible. That is a 3-run jump, which means even then, still lucky. But when your expected batting average is 80 points higher than the actual batting average against righties on the four-seamer, we have a batting average of 305 expected versus a 176 batting average on the slider. Looking at Rooker, I know this year, if you look at this year, he has not been hitting the ball well, right? And that's fine, but again, unlucky, right? Four-seam fastballs. This is important. Obviously, we just talked about how much he goes against those and how much he's going to get tonight. Four-seam fastball, he has a 136 batting average against. Expected batting average, 267. Slugging percent on the four-seamer, 273. Expected slugging, 629. Huge jumps, guys. Very unlucky. And we have a guy on the other side who has been lucky and still has not been very good. Going over to the slider, I'm looking more last year. Slider was his best pitch, right? I mean, it was a 308 batting average and a 636 slug, 45% hard hit rate, four-seamer. He had a 290 batting average with a 643 expected slug, 50% hard hit rate. This is a spot where I'm loving Brent Rooker tonight. I'm expecting that negative regression to come for Burke, the positive regression to come for Rooker, and expecting some barrels here. Sean Burke, as of right now, right, he has had 45 batted balls so far this year. 9 of them have been barrels. Sign me up. We're going Brent Rooker. Let's do this thing, baby. Brent Rooker over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, -130. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate all the support. Again, if you could hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot. And we'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you follow over on Twitter. Make sure you know when we're going live. And excited for today. Hopefully we can add on to those 3.6 units we have made you guys so far over here on YouTube. So thank you guys. Best of luck on this massive slate tonight. And we'll catch you tomorrow.